I mean, I like most kinds of beers. You keep this. I like blondes, I like IPAs, I like stouts, I like wheat beers. I'm not a big fan of light beer. It's like really the only kind I don't like. No Celestial Colonnade. No, I think Colonnade is not good in your Shark Typhoon, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria deck. No, I don't like Bud Light. I don't mind Coors. Coors is okay. Yeah, Shiner's pretty overrated. Everybody's dad in Texas loves Shiner. Alright, we do have a good Tron matchup. Obviously, we don't have any wildfires in our hand right now, but I felt good in the matchup. What alcohol do Tron players drink? Wish I was wittier. Could come up with something. I haven't thought about it before, I'll say. I don't know. Alright, so my opponent doesn't have Tron, and they don't have a land tutor. So I obviously just take the best line, which is Jace plus. I'm assuming they don't have Tron or a land tutor. And I'll leave them with Urza's Tower. I think that's fine. If they play Karn the Great Creator, we can just bolt it, and I'd probably have Cryptic up. I think everybody's dad I know just loves Shiner. Just the ultimate dad beer. My dad loves Shiner. Good thing my opponent got Spyglass and not Pithing Needle. A good thing my opponent kept an unkeepable hand. It's also a pretty key factor to winning this game. Sanctum of Ugin. They can resolve Spyglass. I can only logic not X equals 4 here. But they have to name Hero. If they name Jace, I can just minus on the Spyglass. Is the Lotus Field Bloodstone combo not something I'm interested in anymore? It's something I'm interested in. We talk about this a lot. They did name Jace, which I think is a mistake. I think that the Lotus Field variant is better in grindier metagames, and this metagame we're in is very aggressive. And this version is much better against the aggro decks. And so, of course, when you're playing a control deck, you're going to want to make, most of your decisions based on what you think is popular at the moment, Cannot get rid of this Oust. But boy, do I love that Jeskai Lotus Field deck. I think this is worth countering. We have multiple Cryptics. And we still have Logic not up. Alright, what time is it, guys? Does anybody know what time it is? Oh no, is it not? I think it's still time. I feel like it's been a while since I felt like this has been the correct line. Oh, we also get to Wildfire. Yeah, we get to Wildfire and Logic Knot. And then if we Logic Knot for our full graveyard, we actually get to make a 9/9 Shark here. Logic Knot plus Shark Typhoon, the original Splinter Twin combo. Yeah, Garbage Time was actually maybe the better answer. Kind of just down to make the big shark and then take a 1-for-1. Obviously this game is over and we could take random game actions to win. Oh, it's a 10/10 shark. Very cool. I think this is how I've been sideboarding. I think I'm going to keep this. That was the first huge shark off a Logic Knot. This game, I've done it a lot actually. This is how I've been sideboarding. I think the first 2 Aether Gusts are fine. They've got diminishing returns. Then like I've got like 1 Bolt as an answer to Karns and like 1 Oust as an answer to Worm Coils. Yeah, I mean Nexus is like not a great card in this. Oh, I meant to cut the verdict. Nexus is not a great card in this matchup. But I think it ends up being fine, especially because the games end up going long, and it's pretty good with Teferi, Hero of Dominaria specifically. Opponent's bold to 5 this game. I think I'm putting back the Gust. Yeah, I bring in Nexus. It's mostly for Mill, and Mill I think is popular enough right now for some decks that have a bad Mill matchup like this deck to want a sideboard card. But I also bring in Mill against big mana and control decks. I feel like I say this every time I play Jeskai. Actually, I might cycle that. I feel like I say this every time I play Jeskai, but Jeskai inherently has a lot of bad cards in matchups, right? Where Jeskai has these mana leaks, these Force of Negations, these remands, sorry, not remands, Lightning Helixes, that are just gonna be bad in certain matchups. And so being able to like trim as many of your bad cards as you can in matchups to like bring in like the 6 Madcap Experiment package or just have like a Nexus of Fate to bring in some of these matchups is really, really important to have access to. Good mold to 4 opponent. Maybe I should have gone to 5. Yeah, you play Flagstones because you can target it with Cleansing Wildfire, and it's really powerful when you get to do that. And then Cleansing Wildfire also has a lot of secret modes where it like fixes your mana underneath Blood Moon, obviously interacts with your Tron opponents. Got a lot of secret modes. You can +1 Teferi Time Raveler to instant speed cast Wildfire, and then the land just taps, so you tap their land. Getting Ulamogged? Sphered. It's fine. Our draw has definitely been poor this game. It's not lined up well against our opponent at all. I think I'm going to play this to thin a bit. We're also up a game. And my opponent's draw is really bad, so even if our opponent ends up drawing a Haymaker before we draw into like Jace, I guess Jace isn't that good against the O-Stone. We do have Leak, Snap, Leak Up. It's kind of like Mystic Confluence. Yeah, Wildfire to shuffle off of Jace is nice. When you have Platinum Emperion in play, you can't fetch, but you can shuffle. Or you can Wildfire your fetch to get a basic into play. Is something that comes up too. The card just quietly has a ton of modes. Exploring next turn? Do you mean explore plus shock? Hell yeah, I am. I mean, 0 mana, deal 2 damage, draw a card is pretty good. We actually could just draw 7 Nexus of Fates in a row and win. I guess they could just crack the O-Stone. Yeah, what an anemic draw we've had. I mean, obviously my opponent's draw has been terrible as well. Cycles Wilt. Surely they haven't been holding that. I'm probably going to play 1 Snapcaster here. They get Blast Zone. I thought they would get Basic Forest to turn Stirrings into a draw. They might have a Forest in their hand, I guess. You have another. There's no way they have another Wilt. We went 1/3 drop with Reclamation. I thought the deck looked good, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we ran bad. I feel like we'll see them pop the stone now. Guess not. This is a good draw, by the way. Drew the counterspell the turn before they drew the threat. So lucky. Wait, my opponent has 2 threats here? How? Can't even double leak. I guess I could have snap rejectioned, but I think we might be able to leak whatever they get off of this. Like if they get Ballista or Sundering Titan. And then just being able to mana leak here is kind of invaluable. And save snap rejection. Yeah, opponent just trying to overwhelm my counter spells that I don't have in hand. Kind of funny. I guess I'm gonna wildfire their blast zone. Kind of funny to do so though. And then we're gonna go to Teferi Hero minus on O-Stone with snap rejection up. Why no counter? Probably a late message there, but I think like we can mana leak probably some big thing that they get. They're not going to get a coding there, and then like saving snap rejection is just so valuable. It's like that's like one of the only ways we ever get to mana leak in that spot. Maybe we should have wildfired ourselves, but surely if they had stirrings in their hand, they would have already played it. I don't know. They got another Karn. I think that we are supposed to let Karn resolve and snap rejection whatever they get off of it. Yeah, Ballista. Like if we snap rejection this, Ballista off of Karn is so nasty. I think we just have to snap rejection the Karn. Yeah, Ballista specifically is gnarly. Opponent's line playing into League is loose? Maybe. They're kind of in a rough spot deciding in what decision to do. Obviously, it's easy for us to say that. What a draw. One thing is like a lot of Tron players seem to be of the opinion that Jeskai players get to teleport away all of their bad cards post board, which just really isn't that true. Usually have some bad ones against Tron. I don't have any more planes to get to wildfire my Flagstones, so I guess I'm going after there. If I draw one more wildfire, we can get them off Tron, but it's probably not going to matter. Might just be thinning their deck for them. Yeah, Teferi plus Snapcaster is way more powerful in Teferi decks, I've found. So if this is Wormcoil, which it looks like it is, it's pretty bad for us. Okay, that was wrong. What a great draw. I can't believe it. What a weird game this was. One of the weirdest games I've ever played, to be honest. I think I'm bouncing Teferi, drawing a card. And then we can Teferi bounce Snapcaster. Oh, maybe a little punished. There's the verdict I accidentally left in. We can Teferi bounce Snapcaster, then Snap Cryptic. So it's kind of free to draw 2 there. Let's go 1 card. I don't think anything beats Snap Cryptic. Weird game. Weird game. Mulligan this on the play. Keep this hand. Probably putting back one of these lands. Probably the basic plains. That felt like a bottom 5% of draws from both decks. Yeah, I think I'd agree with that, which is always kind of funny, right? If they had Ayavugan, that would have been pretty impossible. Man, I forgot about Ayavugan and Tron decks. I did play in those days, but it's like, those days are so over, man. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Just like having flashbacks now. Yeah, Magic is at its best when both players have similar percentages of their draws. Like if, you know, both draws are in the 90, like the very best draws of both decks, those games are good. Or even the bottom ones are really fun to watch, like that one was. But it's bad when one player just draws so much better than the other. Could cycle the wildfire here. I think I'm not going to. Kind of hope that this is Amulet and they play like a bounce land next turn. Could be a deck with green and white spells in it because they showed us Temple Garden. It's kind of what I'm guessing right now. Heliod. Well, glad we held the Wildfire. I think this is a good matchup, by the way. Like when Phoenix had the nut 85% time. Well, I hate to break it to you. But those were, those were just their draws. The deck was just very consistent. What's the scariest fetch land in Modern on turn 1? For the longest time, it was Bloodstained Mire back in the Faithless Looting days, in the dark times. Would have loved to have that card in my hand this turn. Possible I was supposed to kill the Pindlehaven, but maybe fighting their white mana was a bit better. Yikes. They obviously get Ballista. I'm going to bolt the Captain. Again, it's very balanced. Ideally, we'll also draw a land, which we haven't done yet this game. Kept a 3-lander, right? Yeah, we kept a 3-lander. We also drew off of double Wildfire and Teferi. Feels bad. I can't see I've ever feared a Marsh Flats. Yeah, Marsh Flats ain't too scary, I think. And another Coco. Well, if I draw a land, it can maybe just Verdict, depending on what their Coco is. I'm feeling okay. Drew all the lands last game. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm conceding off of it. We weren't 100% dead there, but I was 100% off of it. So I kind of have been, experimenting with a few different sideboard plans in this matchup. I think I've just been doing this recently, but I have tried bringing in the Nexus because it is technically infinite damage, but you have so many ways to beat infinite life anyways. Sometimes I play more Gust than this. Sometimes I play 1 Rejection because it is really good when you get to Rejection Ballista. I think I'm just going to submit this. Alright, keep this. It's nice. This hand is nice because it has an answer to an Arbor Elf or a Utopia Sprawl. Only 1 Wrath in 75. Is that how Jeskai does nowadays? Well, I feel like I'm the only person playing Jeskai. Oh, I mean, that's obviously not entirely true, but that's how I've been liking. I mean, Jeskai plays 8 spot removal spells, and Verdict is just not good in every matchup. And there's, Verdict is just dead in a lot of matchups even. But I think it's fine to main deck 1 or 2. Alright, gonna have a great turn here. I think I want them to draw Conclave Mentor, so I'm actually going to Cleansing Wildfire before I Oust. Does Infinite Life beat Infinite Attackers with Nexus of Fate? It does not if you remove the Infinite Life combo from the field. So if I go so now if I play Snapcaster, they can just sack Ranger Captain to stop me from wildfiring, but then we just Snapcaster it snap kills Ranger Captain. But they decide to keep their Ranger Captain in play over their Utopia Sprawl. I think they were just F6 actually. I actually think that they didn't really think about that decision. Yeah, I think I'm going to Teferi bounce their Skyclave. I don't really mind if they Skyclave my Teferi. Why not Null's Fielding for it? We should maybe make a command for it, but this version is better in this metagame that's full of linear and aggressive decks, where the other version doesn't shine in those matchups. Yeah, I don't think this really matters. It's I'm just going to be able to get the token down the line. The Teferi is dying to this Ranger Captain attack anyways. In fact, I might even hardcast Typhoon next turn, right? We're at a pretty high life total. We have a logic not to go with it. I mean, just cycling is going to be good too, though. It's close. I think if I had drawn something, if I had drawn like something to go Logic Not plus, you know, mystery card that I draw, I would probably have hardcasted Typhoon this turn, but I think it's better to cycle here. Why no command for why not Lotus Field? I mean, if a mod wants to make it, I encourage them to do so. But as far as commands, like I would love if we could get like the mods and like the regular chatters to just be on top of those kind of commands. So, but I don't really like typing the command in the chat myself. Feels like a little bit, I don't know. I'd rather just talk. All right, Joel definitely lined up well against theirs that game. I think I'm just gonna resubmit here. I do like this matchup. I think we're a little favored. I obviously don't think we're insanely favored. Their deck is great, but I think we're at least even. Right. We have Answer to Arbor Elf and Utopia Sprawl, which is nice. We actually have Forge Tinder. Well, I'm just gonna bolt their Ballista, make them use their Forge Tinder or not use it. Surely they have a second Ballista in their hand, right? If they're playing this one out, maybe not. Right, they don't use the Forge Tinder. Flagstones would have been a great draw there. So we have a few options. I think I'm just playing Triome tapped. Wildfire is better if we hit a Utopia Sprawl or if we get to draw a Flagstones. And I'd really like to play either Snapbolt or Teferi next turn. I'm going to opt for Teferi. I like Teferi against a possible Collected Company. At least make them main phase it. Or at least if they don't have it next turn, they sack to deny the card. I think that's fine with me. If they don't have the Coco this turn, they kind of have to it's telegraphed, or they have to. We can counter it very easily. Following is what I'm stumbling and trying to say. Okay. Alright, what's nice about this deck is I don't have a bunch of Toskies and swords that I can just say, you have infinite life, let's keep playing. Alright, so what I'm going to do is a neat trick with Wildfire. I think I'm fine with them drawing Spike Feeder. So I'm going to Wildfire their Temple Garden and their draw step, and then this land is effectively going to be intertapped and deny them a mana this turn. And then I think I'll also oust the Spike Feeder. I could maybe have waited a second, but it doesn't really matter. I guess oust is kind of bad against Heliod, huh? They do have a land. They draw off of Canopy, and they play Conclave Mentor, sure. Sure. I really want to bounce Heliod with Teferi next turn. My opponent's drawing Spike Feeder, right? I'm just leaving up 4 mana here. Yeah, both Jace the Mind Sculptor and Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, beat Infinite Life. So here I'll go Snap Oust on Mentor. But Oust is a sorcery. And I think I want to play Oust over Bolt because I actually actively want them to draw Conclave Mentor the next 2 turns, especially because we have, you know, control over that. It's probably fine to play Jace here. Especially if we find a 1 mana removal spell, which our deck is full of. Found a 2 mana removal spell. Yeah, so Teferi can ultimate, exile all your opponent's permanents, and then you can just start -3 targeting itself, so you don't deck, and then it's pretty easy to win from there. All right, so they have infinite power here, but it's also very beatable. We just go bounce, Teferi bounce next turn. You like Jace bounce? Maybe Jace bounce is good. I feel like Brainstorm's fine too. But we get to chump here. We're not dead because this doesn't have haste. don't know if I'm supposed to like type out to my opponent. Oh no, this is only infinite power on the Archangel. And they already have infinite life. I thought it was infinite power on Spike Feeder too. That's so much worse for them. I think I'm just bouncing. Maybe I should have kept one of those 2 lands. But it's so nice, like, we just, like, we really just don't care about their infinite life at all. And being able to not care is awesome. So this would be infinite power, but we can just go counter draw. And then, you know, approach the next turns as we want. Didn't you want to bounce and snap Verdict? I don't think so. It's just like if they just replay the Archangel of Thune, Verdict is going to be so good next turn. I might do that this turn. But I was kind of hoping to like just to get to Verdict the following turn. Let me attack. If they block, then I don't need to Verdict here. Oh, whoops. Sorry. I forgot that they were at infinite life. Angle shooting. Just kind of like that's just like how you sequence there. Yeah. Yeah, so they want to hit like Skyclave Ranger Captain. They did hit the Skyclave. I mean, I've got another Jace. Because the token doesn't really matter. Oh, Helix the Feeder. They still have Archangel Thune. Yeah, I think I'm holding up mana for either Snap Cryptic or Typhoon to block. Just get a big creature in play. They have Archangel, 2 unknowns. I think one of their cards is Conclave Mentor. It's honestly kind of hard to keep track of. We've made them shuffle a bunch. Kind of worried. I think they do have a Mentor. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll counter draw so we can have the snare up. We know one of their 2 cards is ooh. It's bad. One of the 2 cards is Archangel though. The Reveal Ballista. So yeah, so Ranger Captain counters Snapcaster's ETB. Their hand is Walking Ballista, Archangel of Thune. I think I like starting off with Teferi Bounce. Maybe I should just snap Verdict. No, I think I prefer Teferi Bounce Skyclave. I think Snapcaster can deal with Ranger Captain. And if they Skyclave by Teferi, I'm just not bothered really. How do I feel about the old Jeskai Tribal Flames? I've been thinking about that deck a little bit. That deck was pretty bad against Uro, and now Uro's gone, so I might play it again. I mean, the token deals with Ranger Cap, but I think we need to get the captain off the field. What do I like about Jeskai over Esper or Blue-White? A lot of different things. Like, as far as Blue-White goes, I like the removal suite that Jeskai gets better, and I think the Wildfire Flagstone package is good in like all of Blue-White's bad matchups, or you know, helps a lot. I should say, and it at least helps a lot. And yeah, I mean it's mostly the Wildfire Flagstones thing, and the removal suite is better in Jeskai than in Blue-White, I think. And your mana is really good too. You have really good mana in Jeskai. Like some of the best in the format. So if my opponent Archangels, their Skyclave Apparition does have infinite power, but we can just block it. Maybe bounce Jace and then snap Verdict. No Gingerbread House? Not in this deck. Did not do well with the Teamer Reclamation deck today. 1/3 drop, I think. Yeah, they're infinite. Their hand is Walking Ballista, Archangel Thune. They do have infinite power on the Skyclave and the Archangel, but then we just get to snap Verdict. And now we can even Aether Gust the Spike Feeder. I guess I should have waited on my land too. The Reclamation deck was in Modern. Reclamation is banned in Pioneer now, actually. 6/6 Ballista, or 3/3 Ballista. Is Pirate's Charm Arcanist off the menu? No, it's not. It's been something I've been wanting to revisit. The 2 Jaces down? It is 2 Jaces down, but I've got 2 Teferi Hero Dominarias is out to infinite life. Yeah, we're out of Jaces. We have to win with Teferi now. And then the Castle Vantress also means that like it's not really possible for Teferi to just be like the bottom card of our library. What's the plan for Infinite Life tucking Teferi? Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'll remember no attacks. I feel embarrassed that I did that first time. They do put the feeder on top to combo. I think I'm cycling Typhoon for 0 here, then scrying. Because again, the body just doesn't matter that much with them being at infinite life. Mana Leak, I get. Well, I should have cycled in response. Oops. Yeah. So this can shuffle away their spike feeders so they don't have infinite power. So it's probably worth keeping on top. I guess they can just choose not to use it, but then if they don't have a land, we can mana leak the feeder. They also might be out of basics anyways. They failed to find, so they did use the ability. And now do I just want to snap Verdict? I guess I don't need to snap Verdict now. Because even if they spike feeder us next turn, we just chump block, and then snap Verdict, so we also get the feeder. I know we can Spell Snare that, but yeah, I'm just trying to snap Verdict. So I'm pretty sure this game is over. My opponent's done a really good job fighting back. It is always funny to call a game over when it's probably going to last at least like if it reaches its conclusion 35 more turns, but I'm not sure how our opponent's going to beat the fact that we just have Oust infinite life and they're like really low on resources now. We've got the castle. They've also only drawn 5 lands. No, that's not true, because we've wildfired 2 of them and they sacked canopies. I also think I'm probably gonna not sack this Flooded Strand because I've been bottoming cards. Although if it lets me scry this turn, I'll sack. Yeah, I guess we will. If we don't mana leak anything. But if my opponent just passes with Coco mana up, I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna put down the mana leak. Gotta remember not to attack here, because they are at infinite life, per our gentleman's agreement. And they did pause and think there, so I'm not. Definitely not gonna put the mana leak down. This is the latest I've seen Mana Leak viable. I guess you didn't watch our last match. when my opponent had like literally 30 mana or something crazy like that. I guess not exactly that much, but my opponent went Karn, the Great Crater. We rejectioned it, and then they went Karn into Sundering Titan, and we were able to mana leak it. And it was awesome. I'll keep Force of Negation, I think. Just Coco is definitely like the card I fear most in this spot. Not really afraid of too many other things. Imagine having Colonnade against Infinite Life and not Castle of Vantress. Cringe. Keep this. I do have heroes left in the deck, right? Yeah, I have two. It's kind of crazy I haven't seen one yet. A plus. Do I believe gentlemen's agreements are more likely to occur with streamers? In my experience, they happen really often. Even when I don't stream or before I was a streamer guy, they happen really often in my experience. I think that the game is better when they happen. Yeah, I'll keep another one of these. My opponent's out of basics, or at least we believe them to be out of basics, so just like strip my draw cards fine enough to keep. Especially with the mana leak. Why Force over Leak? Because Force just answers Coco, and the spot doesn't really answer anything else. While Mana Leak, especially when we have more Wildfires in our deck, can answer like any 3-drop in this spot. Where are my Teferis? I haven't been shuffling. Why not Leak there? I guess it was late response. Don't I also have a Nexus of Fate? I didn't sight it in, but it would be infinite damage if I did. I didn't... Yeah, they're not in my sideboard. We're probably going to draw one this turn. Still have 20 cards in our library. I guess I'll keep a snap. I guess we can just snap Wildfire them on their instep. But it might be out of fetchable targets. I'm just going to bolt the feeder, though. They have 2 Temple Gardens in their yard, though. I don't think that they have fetchable targets left in their deck. Okay, this is getting a bit ridiculous, because we haven't been shuffling. It's kind of funny, though, if we, like, didn't have this Castle Vantress and the Teferis are just the bottom 2 cards of our library, we don't win. Yeah, I guess Teferi can just tuck itself, but the problem is if they just have more threats than we have answers at that point, we don't win. So, like, ultimating is a pretty key piece of the puzzle. There we go. Whew, starting to get a little concerned. So I have 17 cards in our library. Alright, and they concede. 2-0. Our opponent is 4-0. Or 2-0. Scary. This hand's really good, though. You keep. Steam Vents go. Interesting. Could be Prowess, could be Storm, could be a control deck. Someone suggested an Infinite Loop with no resolution was a loss. If you're the only one controlling an Infinite Loop, and the Infinite Loop doesn't actually progress the game at all, you can't just keep doing that forever. If your opponent's at Infinite Life and you just have Nexus of Fate, I don't believe you can force a draw. I believe that, kind of like in chess, I guess it's the opposite of chess. Yeah, it's the opposite of chess. All right, no mutagenic growth, no mutagenic growth, no mutagenic growth. Yes. think it's a good matchup. A loop a loop you can't stop as a draw, but a loop you can stop is not a draw. As from what I understand. Yeah, but in chess that it is a draw if two players make the same, I think 5 moves in a row, right? It's been a long time since I've been into chess. It's 3 times? I didn't know that. I wouldn't say that I'm back into chess. They didn't have a mutagenic growth earlier. We could just snap bolt. I think snap bolt is fine here. PMP, 4 months. Thank you for your resubscription. I'm glad that you're liking the stream, dude. You could also have gut shot plus the dart sack. I did watch the Queen's Gambit from start to finish, yeah. I'm pretty proud of that fact, too. They changed the rule for threefold. Interesting. It is always cool to me, like... It's cool to me that a game like chess can and does change on occasion. Like, I think when I was a little kid, en passant became an official thing. And I remember it blew my mind and made no sense to me, and it still kind of blows my mind and still kind of makes no sense to me. When am I going to go full Magic Savant and live the IRL version of Queen's Gambit? I was joking that's how I build my decks yesterday, is I just stare up at the ceiling. But honestly, you know, I have been someone who just grinds Magic tournaments. And streaming is way, way more fun. I'm kind of burned by this Prairie stream. I think I'm going to play Teferi and balance Swift Spear, though. Abasan is more than 2 years old. Well, how old is it? I might be misremembering. You know, like, childhood memories are weird. Abasan was 15th century. Yeah, it was there a rule that happened when, like, in the last 25 years? But yeah, childhood memories are weird. Ola Bonefish. It'll be really hard with them having 2 cards and the Lava Dart to kill me from 14 life here. But boy, is Blue-Red Prowess just a gnarly deck. And that's a gnarly card. Yeah, I like seeing Bedlam Raveler in these decks. I think the Revelers are good. I think that you want to play exactly 1 copy of Raveler, and you're like usually just pretty happy to draw it, you know? Land here would have been nice to double spell. Sprite Dragon number 3. Scary. They should probably grow this dragon. Lava Dart from hand, and they also have the dart in the yard. Prowess is so good. Raveler is a great sideboard card. I think the first copy in the main is good to play. Just like I think the downsides of the first one in the main just aren't that bad. Down to 7 life. We're still not out of it, of course. How many mountains? My opponent's played 2 mountains. They have 1 more basic, likely. I'm going to pass with this Cryptic. So we're on Tuck and Lose. I think it's a bit better to Cryptic here. I mean, 7 life is a lot of life against Prowess. They're not that good at burning you out. I think if my opponent had a Bolt, they would have cast it last turn, too. And this is game 1, so I'm not afraid of a card like Spell Pierce. So I'm going to bounce draw to tax their mana a bit. Do you think Prowess should be less good for the health of the format? Too early to tell. Format is still brand new and pretty good right now. It's a good draw. Where can you find your list? You can always !deck to find this list and then all the lists I've been playing recently. So if I draw a land, I can go Oust, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria with Logic not up. Did not draw the land. So I'm going to go Oust, and I think Wildfire them to shuffle the dragon away. Which is another good synergy with Oust in this deck, by the way. You should have one more land, yeah. Yeah, Prowess definitely has bad matchups, I think. I don't know, maybe they don't. Do I think Owl should be an instant? I mean, it's pretty strong as a sorcery, so I guess my answer is no. Maybe I should have mana leaked that. I'm a bit worried about a hasty threat, though. They did finally find the growth. I'm gonna go Teferi minus, or Jace minus? Yeah, Jace minus. Maybe Teferi minus is better. Yeah, this actually deals with the card. It's a little bit more mana efficient. Obviously it doesn't feel good, but... We have Force up if they, burn spell my Teferi. Kind of nice. It also exiles Dart in this spot. How is Prowess versus Heliod? I don't know how that matchup is. Like, all the Aryak champions probably make it like slightly in favor of Heliod, but like the burn spells are really good against the dorks. If anybody knows or like has tested that matchup a lot, let me know how you feel it is. But I haven't actually played either side of it. Yeah, we won. I mean, they had a really good draw, but we have a good matchup, I think. We also get to strip mine them or stone, whatever you want to call this effect, sinkhole them. I'm assuming they usually just play 3 basics. They could have more, I guess, and they do have more. So good to know that they have more. But the land also enters tap, so they don't have access to it this turn. If I could be any Pokemon, why would I be Poliwhirl? Well, you've already answered the question for me, so. I would be Poliwhirl because you forced me to be Poliwhirl with this theoretical scenario. 60-40 in favor of Heliod because of Coco. Interesting. I buy it. I believe that Heliod's favored. I just want to cut all the Typhoons. Typhoon kind of sucks in this matchup. This looks pretty good to me. I think I'll play 3 Gusts on the draw, but bring more mana leaks and on the play to deal with Stormwing. Keep. A weird hand. But Snare is pretty good against them. Just stop. If we get to hit, I should say, Manamorphose or Dragon on turn 2, it's just such a big swing in our favor. Verdict is a good pickup too. The Helix is nice. I mean, these are the cards in my hand. When does using 4 Snapcasters seem justified in a deck like this? I don't know. Maybe you could tell me. I haven't really been sure of like... I've been really happy with 3. Obviously, it doesn't matter that much. You could definitely play 4. Growth is so good in this matchup. It's like really, I think 3 is the right number. And if you want to play 4, it's because you spend a lot of money on your 4 copies. And you really want to play all 4. And I get it, you know. Love to draw any spell to play this turn, which we did not. It's not super likely we die this turn, but definitely possible. Would love for them to just go like Dragon with no spell here. Gonna pause, make them think about it. They don't have 2 mountains in play. Cool. They didn't sack the dart, which is good. Although we are dead to just 1 lightning bolt here because they have. Oh no, they have to have mountain plus dart to kill us actually next turn. Dude, we went snare their 2 mana play, helix them, turn 4 verdict, and we're at 5. Ooh. We were on the draw. Well, we're not dead here because they don't have 2 mountains. I think they thought we were dead. And obviously, just them having a mountain is scary. I'm gonna counter draw. It's gonna. I mean, I think their card is like a Stormwing entity or something bad like that. Definitely not gonna wildfire their canal. It's a great draw though. We could maybe have wildfired them and then mana leak to darts, but I think it's just better to do this. Drawing a land though feels bad. Yeah, maybe it was good to wildfire their mountain and then just leak it. Spending 4 mana to Stone Rain them. Kinda. Is it light up the stage? There's no way it's light up the stage. Yeah, I think it's better to just like I think at this point when your mana is really good, you don't need to put the Triome into play. It's better to cycle. Alright, so we have 8 mana. Do we think our opponent's last card is a burn spell? Or a mystical dispute? It said that they were paying costs. Yeah, I think we just cast it. I feel like we're probably gonna die, but it's not like our spot's getting that much better unless we draw really well. Alright, so we're dead to any burn spell off the top. Including Gut Shot. But it entered play. Sick. Am I vacuuming? I'm not vacuuming. My partner is. I think. I'm assuming. It's not a stranger. How distracting is the vacuuming? Because I might try to convince her to wait till after the stream, or I'll do it after the stream. So that was the draw, I guess. Does Athena care about vacuums? I mean, she's not a fan. She doesn't mind them that much. Can barely hear it. Okay, cool. Thank you. Then let the vacuuming continue, I say. Someone broke into my place just to vacuum, and, you know, let them. You're also vacuuming. Yeah, I love to watch streams while I'm doing chores. Oh, was I supposed to counter that? Should you keep the fetches looted with Jace? Maybe. I think it matters a ton. It's like we can't loot them away with Jace very easily. The problem with tapping the team is they can shrink the Emperion. It's really lucky to draw the second Cryptic though. I'm just gonna pay. I think I should have counter tapped. I'm gonna mana leak one of these lava darts. They have to sack 2 of their darts from the graveyard to stay alive here, and they go down to 2 lands and they go down to 1 life. And I still have Emperion in play. Now Cryptic for next turn. Got another one of these guys. Maybe it's not good to do this. Maybe we should just like accept that they can have 3 lands in play, because this actually just means they can draw it out to Emperion. I guess this was bad, but they didn't draw their out. Yeah, I think we're not supposed to mana leak there, but we advanced to 3-1 despite the misplay there. Beating 3 very different decks and very like this is kind of the perfect league start where we beat Tron, Heliod, and Blue-Red Prowess, which are like the three pillars of this format right now, or like three of the most popular decks. Shadow Time, Yorion Time, actually. I'm gonna keep turn 3 Jace. Let me gamble on your 5-0. I usually put it up when/if I'm 4-0. Marsh Flats. I did 5-0 with Jeskai on Monday too. Yorion, Marsh Flats, Abzan Triome. Or sorry, Sultai Triome, Temple Garden. Okay, it's just Nib, is it? Is everything that's happening weird? If so, it's just... Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, then on the 5th match we play Boggles again. Wait, did we did we did 5-0 and right, and then we were playing. There was another league where we were gonna 5-0 with that was with Squirrel Blade, and we lost to Boggles in the last round, right? Maybe the scariest fetch land in Modern is Marsh Flats because you just have no idea what's going on. Someone trying 4-color Soul Rider or Ephemerate. I was trying to build a 4-color Ephemerate deck for today's stream. I failed. I really tried to make it work, and I felt like I couldn't. But my 4-color version was playing Omnath, which is like the reason to be read in the Bant Ephemerate deck. I'm gonna try it again with Yorion as a companion. My first draft didn't have Yorion as a companion. Yorion, like, maybe is the key. Yorion is also really good with Omnath. Just have so much mana. Alright, kind of nice to be 4-0 in this league right now. Toxic, yeah. That's me. Probably should have shuffled first. I don't really mind. Yeah, never mind. I did shuffle. No, I didn't. How did I draw Logic Knot? I didn't put Logic Knot on top, did I? Play Nexus of Fate in order to beat Mill, and you also bring it in against big mana decks and control decks. Why bolt to my turn? We're bolting the Tidehollow Sculler anyways. It's always our turn because we have Teferi Time Raveler, just kind of wasting time while I'm looking at oh, it was under the Sculler, that makes sense. Just kind of saving time while I read chat, not really pay attention to my mana screwed opponent. I'm just in garbage time. I think I've got a good idea of what they're playing. This matchup is probably not great, actually. It's probably just okay. I kind of want to see what their blue is for. Do I still think 2 rejection in the side is the way to go? Well, I'm playing 2 rejection in the side right now, so yeah. Alright. Resolves. Well, I have redundant copies of both of these guys. This or blue-black? I would say Jeskai. I've been really, really high on Jeskai lately. I think Jeskai's great. Just concede to the bolt. Okay. Now comes the hard part. Obviously, this is like why your opponent would play a deck like this is how on earth are we sideboarding? I kind of feel like Oust is bad in this matchup. I think. I have no idea. Play like 2 Force of Negations. And play the Gusts. Keep. Yeah, I do want to update the sideboard guide for Jeskai. I want to get it done this weekend. I don't know if I can commit to it, but I'm going to try to. You were off this deck for a while after Mystic Sanctuary was banned. What convinced me to bring it back on? Well, I don't know if I was necessarily off of it as much as, like, I played one league with it on stream, and I went 0-2 drop where I lost to, like, Urza and then another deck. And I like, the whole time I was thinking in my head that the deck was good, but I wanted to wait until I felt like I had a good tuned list before I streamed with it. And then I was also working on a lot of different decks kind of in the meantime, and then when I finally worked on it off stream, it felt great, and I've been playing it on stream since then, and it's felt great. So I think your impression is at least not how I remember it. I'm just playing Teferi. I don't really know what's going on. If they have Ephemerate, they don't get to rebound it. They can only cord from one. Tide champion, 2 months. Ayo, right back to you. You're having a good day. Let me see if I can con Esther into getting me some coffee. I'm starting to crash a little bit. Hey, Esther. She was already making some. Isn't that cute? They got Gaddock Teague. Huh. Teague is weird. I could just plus Teferi. I've got so many answers to Teague, though. I'm going to bounce the bird. There we go. Easy. Easy peasy. Yeah, I just had so many answers to the Teague. Although it did stop 2 of the 4 spells in my hand. You only have 2 Lightning Helix. Do you recommend going to 4 bolts or another Oust? Probably another Oust. I've been really liking Oust. Either is fine, though. You could also play a second Verdict. Second Verdict's fine if you have that. Yeah, second Verdict might even just be correct, honestly. I've been kind of thinking about that a bit. I'm bolting bird. And then, like, we can snap, block Skyclave, bolt Teague. If they play Teague pre-combat. We can just snap, bolt Skyclave Apparition if they're holding up mana. Restricting their mana seems good too with these 2 spells. Yeah, Condemn is also a really good option. Condemn is a really good option, and you can play Path, you know. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can play it. Is Guttural Response better than Veil Summon a deck with 4 Cavernous Souls? And a deck with 4 Cavernous Souls, you probably don't want to be playing either card. Would be my professional opinion. Their hand is Teague, 2 unknowns. Alright, go snap bolt the Skyclave, I guess. But I suppose that whoops. I suppose that can't really attack too well through the walls, which is part of the reason that Skyclave plus Wall of Omens pair so well together. Since, like, you just get to ignore the illusion tokens mostly. It's my Kragenwick pet deck. I believe in you. I mean, Guttural Response is never going to be better than Veil of Summer. Unless you're a red deck, I guess. Do you think Amulet's good right now? I think that the Amulet Titan Masters are having a good time. Newer Amulet players are maybe struggling in the new metagame, but yeah, I think Amulet's a fine / good deck even. Kind of bad if they have a Veil of Summer here. Oh, yeah, Amulet Titan Master like me. I forgot about that. I thought that I claimed I claimed red-black dragons though. I forsook my title. I'm no longer the Amulet Titan Master, now the red-black dragons master. Any changes to the deck? Not no. I'm pretty happy with the list we played on Monday. Obviously, we have like a lot of different options we could choose in the sideboard specifically too. But I've been happy with the list. The metagame feels kind of predictable to me too, which is, you know, really where you want to be when you're playing a deck like this. And I've been having a good time. Soul Herder's pretty good here. I'm gonna brainstorm with Jace. I know we could bounce the Herder, but I would like to just draw an answer to it, ideally. And we did draw an answer to it in Randy Bueller's favorite Magic card, Lightning Helix. What caused you to cut the Smashing? I wanted to play the Reflecting Pool pretty badly. The pool's been pretty good. And then I wanted one Castle Vantress. I didn't really feel like I wanted two. And I didn't want another land. And I didn't feel like there were any lands at the spell base that I wanted to cut for the Smashing. But the Smashing was fine. Smashing was fine. But Reflecting Pool kind of took its place. And I know that it's like not a utility land, but it's been really, really good. Just like Smooth Fixer. Alright, another Triome here. Or sorry, another Evolution. You can get any creature from CMC 0 to 4. Last time they were in a spot like this, they got a Skyclave Apparition. I feel like they might get like Eternal Witness and get back Soul Herder. Or Skyclave Apparition. What am I supposed to do? My opponent cast a Siege Rhino? I guess they had Evolution for it. We're so dead. Oh, this was not a card that should have been in the deck post-board. This was not a card that should have been in the deck post-board. Golly. Yeah, that was a mistake there. Be careful clicking consider drop again. But it's just so funny. It's just so funny to complain about Siege Rhino. They have Rhino Tribal over here. Put Yorion into their hand. If they drew a land, they can put it into. They can cast it. We just leak it. They did draw the land. Maybe they played Cavern. Maybe. I'm gonna double block their Rhino, by the way. If they attack. I don't, Draven, but thank you for asking. Oh yeah, wait, they have so many Rhinos they can attack with here. True, true, true. Yeah, I feel like the Stonehunt Dignitary is a card that they just forgot to side out, is the vibe I'm getting from that card right now. What's the best 4-drop creature to get? It's Omnath. It's not really even that close, sadly. Omnath is just like busted mistake of a Magic card, you know? Should probably never have been printed. Oh, I should have attacked with my Shark. It's fine. Avalanche Riders is also pretty good in like the Flicker deck too, though. Yeah, I'll die if I bounce the Rhino. I can only survive 4 more Rhinos entering the battlefield. They drew another land for turn. It's pretty bad for them. The last card in hand is Yorion. How can you not cast Yorion here? They do get to play around Mana Leak. I have the logic not though. Ooh, so fancy. Ask me if I'm okay with my opponent drawing Siege Rhino next turn. They do put it on the top. Thank you, Esther. It was so nice. I went to go ask her if she'd make me a cup of coffee, and she was already making me one. Amazing. MVP of the channel. 4-0, baby! We've only lost one game this league. I'm loving this deck. I'll probably play it tomorrow. Let's get a prediction game. One more match after it. I think I'm going to keep this on the play against Luris. I don't really like to mulligan against Luris very often. Which is Twitch. So his Twitch is twitch.tv/Everose. If I have time in the evenings, which I often do, I'm very often hanging out in Evan's chat too. Twitch ain't your player points, but it's not showing you as the highest bidder. How many did you put down? We can snap back the Teferi. Worst matchup for Jeskai? I feel like of the popular decks, I really don't want to see Dredge. I mean, Dredge is not like super duper popular, but it's popular. Popular. I'm not going to fetch because there's no land in the yard for Goyf right now. Interesting draw. If my opponent plays Liliana of the Veil, I might actually like discard Fountain or discard Helix, snap Helix, attack Liliana. Oh, they don't have Liliana of the Veil, they have Luris. Duh. But I mean, this is fine. We get to Helix the Luris. Take 3 Teferi minus, yeah, of course. FTP Engineer, thank you for your subscription. Hope you're having a good day today. This is Shadow John. Blooming Marsh indicates that this is a green-black rock deck that is playing Luris as a companion, which is very interesting and probably a good matchup. Stream Decker isn't working. Can I show list on stream for a second? No, I'm not going to do that, but you can like scroll back or wait for Stream Decker to work or wait for me to sideboard. I'll just get the Triome. Yeah, they're green-black, I think. I don't think that they're playing red cards with double Blooming Marsh, double Field of Ruin, so I think we're going to get to untap with Teferi. Did I have a chance to Helix the Goyf? Did I? There wasn't an instant in the yard. Maybe I actually did, though. I think I did. This ended up being fine. When the bubble was on the stack... No, there was a Planeswalker in the yard, so no, there wasn't a window. It was not a window. 7-8 Goyf now. Great draw, though. Amazing draw. I guess if they... No, there's really no way I use both of my... I'll get to untap mana with Teferi anyways. Yeah, I guess playing the land on tap... No, never mind. Would let me like cast Snapcaster for no value, which I'm just not doing. 3 mana. Decay my Teferi. Sure. So Snapcaster to block a Goyf is probably not going to work here. We also can't double. Well, if Snapcaster blocking works, then I guess we do get to actually kill the Goyf. It's a 7-8. I think it's way more likely my opponent kills my Snapcaster in combat, which I'll probably Force of Negation, and maybe go Force of Negation there, like Fatal Push, then -3 Teferi on Goyf, play second Teferi. Right. Then I guess I'm doing this. It's like a job for him. Yeah, it is like a job for me, this streaming thing. But a job that I love. Oh, well, they don't have a burn spell? It's awesome. Or removal spell. Yeah, I do definitely try to be right on time every single day. I feel like it's important. It also like it helps keep me focused too. Assume 1 Unearth. I mean, Unearth would have been cast last turn if they had Unearth. No, it's not the biggest Goyf possible. There could be a tribal in the yard, and then Goyf could become 8-9. What time do I stop drinking coffee? I kind of don't, and it's becoming a problem. I think we're getting that trophy. I think we're getting that. Too early to say. Too early to say, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. Kind of don't like leaving in all these burn spells, but I don't really want the platinum package. Although, actually, how good does this look? This actually feels like this is good. They probably don't have that many answers to this. Just cut the burn spells for the platinum package. And they probably play Bob. Let me hold out on this plan for maybe game 3. But I think on the draw I'm gonna leave in the burn spells. Felt close to me though. People still play Bob. I think these like rock decks that have Lurrus as a companion, Bob is okay in. Like you're just never flipping 4 drops. You have very few 3 drops. Still not that good though. Your mana base is also less painful being 2 colors. Yeah, Hex Drinker too for sure. That card's cool. I think I have 7 trophies right now, which is not that many. But might be getting our 8th. Gonna mulligan this hand. I would keep if one of these blue lands were a white source, probably. Oh no. It's a little early to say. Not like this. I could keep this Wildfire. I think I'm not going to. Just like so good if we draw Flagstones, we unmulligan. We're on the draw. We're only down a card. We'll be okay. Hopefully. You know, I wonder how good if I had 5 lands, 2 spells, how good it would have been to just keep all lands against like what is almost 100% going to be a turn 1 discard spell from our opponent. There's Hex Drinker. And level Hex Drinker. Well, I would have drawn the Flagstones if I kept it. But also, we can maybe just if all they do is go in on Hex Drinker, we can Jace bounce. They also don't have land number 3. Big draw step. Huge even. I'm gonna get Triome, I think. If my opponent just goes Hex Drinker, even 3 activations this turn, we're doing fine. They took Cryptic Command? Gotta pay these actors more. Gotta pay them more. I thought Jace only had 1 mode though. I thought you could only brainstorm with Jace. The opponent on yes, confirm. Nice Maelstrom Pulse opponent. Surely they don't have a second answer for Jace. I'm gonna hide the removal spell, my Cryptic, from a discard spell if I can. I mean, they obviously could easily have a second removal spell. And this line is pretty bad against Assassin's Trophy specifically. Pretty good against this, though. Oh, man. This has been quite a game. Alright, so let's go ahead and Helix the Bob now. And if they start leveling this Hex Drinker, you'll just gust it. Can't believe my opponent took the Cryptic. What a punt. $5-0. This is definitely getting a concession. 5-0. Hell yeah. Jeskai's great right now. Jeskai's so good. I think I'm gonna play it tomorrow. Let's play another league with Jeskai.